zusammen, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are all doing well. I am outside, as you can see, in rainy Berlin. Hopefully the lens is not too messed up, but I just dropped off my dog Kai at a groomer's and it's gonna take 2 hours and I'm kind of too far away from home to go back, so I'm just hanging out in the rain all by myself. I have a coffee because obviously it's actually really cold, and of course during lockdown all the cafes are closed, so I have to do takeout. But I wanted to do a little Q&A session and sort of walk and talk with you guys. I thought that this might be cool to do. I really hope that you guys can hear me and I hope that you like this video. I asked you to leave me some questions over on Instagram and I got some really good questions that actually I haven't answered before. So I'm excited to answer those for you. So thank you to everyone who did send over questions. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Diana and I am a Canadian expat living and working in Berlin, Germany. I've been here for about 4 years now in February, which is kind of crazy, but on my channel I talk about the German culture, living here, lifestyle, how you can move to Germany to work and live and study, all of that stuff. So if you are interested in all things Germany, definitely make sure to stick around. I can't believe that it's raining right now. It's sort of like wet snow, which is kind of annoying because you end up just wet and then you don't see any nice snow or anything like that. So yeah, that's just the deal right now. So one of the first questions that I wanted to answer is, what are my favorite areas to live in, or what areas do I recommend? And I wanted to say that I typically recommend the East End. The East End is where a lot of expats move to, so areas such as Mitte, Friedrichshain, Prenzlauer Berg, those seem to be the most poppin' areas. And I am totally out of breath, oh my god. Why am I so out of breath? So areas like Friedrichshain, Mitte, Prenzlauer Berg, those are very, very popular areas for expats. There's a lot of expats here. It's a really easy transition into the German culture. But of course you can move to the west, which is a bit more upscale, but they also have nice areas there. I'll leave some info down below with notes about this because I know a lot of you are quite curious, and I do get this question quite a lot actually during the coaching calls that I do as well. But yeah, I like the East End. It's just a much more chill vibe. It's a much more multicultural vibe, a younger vibe. So usually the East is what I tend to go with. Another question I got is, how do I cope with the long gray winters? Because this person loves the sun. I also love the sun and I am missing it so much. Berlin winters are super gray. I think German winters are super gray in general. I don't think I've seen the sun truly in like 2 weeks, and whenever it peaks out it's like the best feeling ever. But it is very, very gray, and it's something that I didn't really expect when I moved here, because originally when I visited I came in the summertime, and the summertime is when everything's poppin', it's hot, it's beautiful, and the winters are long, they're gray, and especially with lockdown it's just a bit more difficult right now. So how do I cope? Well, I don't know if I have like coping mechanisms for this. I'm just gonna sit down. Yeah, you just kind of have to get through it and do things in your everyday life that just motivate you and you know, keep your energy levels up, like working out, eating healthy, taking vitamin D supplements, because obviously seasonal depression is a real thing, and I find that if I don't do any of these things I can get, you know, into a downward spiral. I can get really unmotivated, and especially during lockdown I have noticed myself feeling a little less motivated than usual, but I think that's just completely normal with everything that's going on. But it's worth it, I think, because in the summertime, you know, especially in Berlin, it's so beautiful, it's so sunny, and it's such a fun environment typically under normal circumstances. So you kind of just have to put up with the shitty winter and then you're gonna have amazing summers. Also, I don't know how I feel about this hat. Josh got it for me and I like it, but I also feel like it makes me look like I'm wearing a condom on my head. But I do like the color and I do feel very like hipster right now. So I don't know how it's gonna translate on camera. don't let me know, don't tell me, whatever. I don't want any hate comments. Someone asked what my favorite German grocery stores are. So personally, I am a big fan of Rewe, Edeka, and I also like Vegans because I do eat a vegan diet, and that's an all-vegan grocery store, which is absolutely amazing. I know they have locations in Vienna because that's where I first saw it, and they have several locations in Berlin, but that is an amazing grocery store. So I actually did end up going to Rewe, and I wanted to show you guys the grocery store for those of you who are curious. I know I'm always quite nosy about what grocery stores look like in other parts of the world, and I especially like taking a look at the chips and what the different types are. These are some in Germany, which are paprika, super popular. This is barbecue style chips, never tried that. There's herb and butter. And then there are peanut chips, which are delicious. I love those a lot. Another question that I got is, what is my favorite city to live in, or what city do I recommend to live in outside of Berlin? Specifically, this person works in finance. So I personally have only ever lived in Berlin, but if you're looking for a place to work in finance, then definitely Frankfurt is really good for that. That's where all of the biggest German companies are, especially in the finance sector. But in general, I recommend the major cities. So Frankfurt, Cologne, Hamburg, Berlin, even Munich, because that's where the most expats move to. It makes for a much easier transition when moving to Germany, and also you're going to have a higher chance of finding an English-speaking job. Another question that I got is how not to get stuck in the expat bubble, which is such a common thing that happens to expats. When they move abroad, it can be so much easier to just resort to the people that you're familiar with, whether it's the culture or language that you're familiar with, and not fully integrate yourself into the country that you've moved to, especially if that country or city has a really big expat community. I would say when you're first moving here, definitely sign up for German classes so that you can push yourself to get more familiar with the language, the culture, and everything that comes with moving abroad. And it's also going to make it a lot easier for you to, of course, make true, German friends here, not just acquaintances, because if they see that you're making an effort to learn their language, their culture, then you're going to be able to break out of that expat bubble. So for instance, a mistake that I made is I didn't sign up for language classes right away when I moved here, and I've sort of been putting off my German for so long because my work allows me to speak English, the friends that I have allow me to speak English, and my German really hasn't progressed that much. And I'm being completely honest, and my German viewers might hate me for this, but it's the truth, and it's what I see with a lot of people. I've met people here who have been living in Berlin for 5 years, 10 years, and they don't speak German, which I definitely don't think is a good idea. And now in my 4th year of living here is really when I'm starting to break out of my comfort zone, break out of that bubble, because I do want to embrace the culture and the language even more than I already do. Another tip that I would have is also just to ask questions. If you're curious about the culture, speak to a German person about it. Ask them questions, where they grew up, what their life was like here. Ask them about the language, if they can help you out with learning the language. Whatever it may be, just make an effort to really push yourself and get out of that comfort zone, and it's really going to enhance your experience here. So yeah, that is my advice, and it's something that I'm constantly learning and of course constantly pushing myself to break out of as well. Now I would say the cool thing is that even though I do have a lot of friends that obviously speak English, their first language is not English. So because there's so many expats here, I've met people from Italy, from Greece, from Spain, from all over Europe and other cultures. So even though our language that we speak is English, I'm still learning about other cultures in a way that I wouldn't have learned about. So that's something that's quite interesting. But again, to enhance your experience of living here, if you see yourself living in Germany for the long term, then definitely push yourself within those first few months to break out of that bubble and learn as much about the culture as possible. The next question I wanted to answer is whether or not I think that age plays a big factor in the recruitment process for working for a German company. And I feel like I'm very white right now. Hold on. And I'm not being rude, I'm not listening to anything. I'm just trying to make this whole experience of answering questions outside less awkward for myself. But I'm really proud actually of myself for doing this. There's quite a lot of people walking by and I'm definitely getting stares, but who gives a crap, you know? This is my channel. If people have questions, they can ask me, but I am shocked by how comfortable I am with doing this. Definitely was not like this a few years ago, so I'm excited because this means that I can actually film outside more and you know, show you guys around rather than just being in my living room all the time. So yeah, that's exciting. But the next question that I wanted to get is whether or not I think age plays an important factor when it comes to getting hired by a German company. And I'm gonna say that no, it does not. And I know that this is a very common concern that people have, especially, you know, as the younger people or younger generations start entering the workforce. It's something I've thought about as well. I think it all crosses our mind, but I think ultimately it's all about the mindset and how you sell yourself during an interview, and how you present your CV, your cover letter. I think that has a huge factor. And at the end of the day, if you have a specific skill set and X number of years that make you super experienced in that field, then a company is going to hire you. So I think the first step is for you to get over that hurdle in your mind that age is a problem, that you're not going to be able to find something, because then you're going to be able to present yourself a lot better and truly believe that you are capable of getting that job, and you're not going to see age as a problem. So a company is going to hire you if you have the experience, if you have the skill set, if you sell yourself, if you present yourself as the person that they need to hire, then I don't see why age would really be an issue. And don't set up that limitation for yourself. You can do it, and yeah, just believe in yourself. That's the first thing that you need to start doing, so that you can sell yourself during that interview. That's really what it comes down to. All right, so I just got a call from the groomer, so I'm gonna go pick up Kai now. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it fun and like to see me walking around the park and answering questions. I really appreciate everyone who sent in questions. If you have any other questions, make sure to leave them in the comments and I'll answer them in another video. And if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and feel free to follow me on Instagram because I do post quite a lot there and I talk to a lot of you guys over there too. And if you are interested in moving to Germany and want more one-on-one advice and want to go through your specific questions, I do offer coaching calls as well, so I'll leave a link down below so that you can check that out as well. But that's all for today's video. I hope that you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you all in my next one. Cheers!